Well, oh, you can hear me, but I'm pretty sure my desktop is not in the right thing. As is usual. Wait, what the heck? Um, properties, the right sound. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Okay, welcome everybody to Legendary Tales. I need to move my microphone away from my face because it's very loud. There we go. Um, yeah. Welcome everybody to episode 16. Does anyone have a recap? It was basically meat shop, right?
No, there was actually some very important world building that happened at the beginning of it. So there was a great big book on the altar, and everybody put their hands on it to dispel the corruption, including a trace. And we were given a vision of space. There were two Oort clouds, one green, one blue. They were orbiting a star, and when they intersected or touched, a small orb appeared, and it was the moon of this world, the eternal vision. And it was a bright teal color, like a giant ball of temper. Um, And then actually, I have a bunch of notes on what we looted, so I might actually be giving notes for the wrong episode. Good job, me. Um,
That was how it started.
oh, that is how it started. Okay. Oh, okay. My notes are out of order. That's what it is.
And then we rolled for several hours, I
We
believe.
rolled. We rolled for several hours. Okay. We rolled. We got bunches of art. We started an art store and sold all the art and turned it into gold. Um, there were tons of things that people got. There were bag of tricks. There were wands that got sent out. Enhanced weapons. All kinds of things. And we also noticed as we exited from the underwater cave that as we came up to the surface, the thunderclouds in the distance dissipated. The volcano, which was active when we had gone underneath the water, was now becoming dormant. Um, and we could see in the distance a large temper-colored lightning storm where Nilhind used to be. Just a massive storm, which is probably foreshadowing a bunch of stuff that is actually in my notes. Then there was also some commerce that took place. We invested in a charcuterie a charcuterie stand or a kebab stand. I don't know how you want to put that really. Um, and Rep also started a small revolution in a tavern, and the charcuterist. I cannot remember his name.
Reinald?
Renault's rations. Renault's rations. Yes, three of the party members are now invested in Renault's rations, and Renault is also uh, he is building on a space to house refugees or to hide refugees, more likely. But that brings us current, I believe, unless I missed something important.
Okay. No, not really. I do have a question for Evie. What were you doing during this whole process? I assume that you were doing something.
Yeah, I mean, we are in an area that I'm familiar with. Like, I've been here before, we've traveled through here before, and I spent time here when I was younger as well. So I went and saw a few family members who were in town, kind of like passing through, trying to figure out where they were going to go next, and met up with, um, yeah, just some friends and family members for how long? How long were you guys frolicking in the world of investment?
It was like an hour, 2 hours probably ish.
Okay, yeah. So I was just basically grabbing food and
Oh,
drinks with some friends.
fair. Um, so your next mission, I believe, that you wanted to do was very much part of looking for Haka specifically. Now that you've taken care of your investment, and it's going to take a couple of months for everything to get finished, the building has to get finished, and all the other stuff has to happen. What are you doing now? Because you
So
are not.
one thing I left out of my notes. Didn't we also decide that Lower Chick was going to help us track down Haka? And he said there were special resources he had in the area or something like that. He did not go into detail, but there was something he could do about it.
I thought all the requirements was we had to find a cave.
Yes.
Correct.
Not just a cave, a specific type of cave.
We weren't given that information. Would have been useful to know. I'm guessing the cave where we found Haka's loot would be useful for that, maybe?
Yes and no. Because it would be nearby, it would not be the cave. It would be close to it. Yep, go ahead.
I didn't do anything much after investing. I ate some of Renault's meat and just chilled, dreading what's to come.
You're dreading what's to come.
Yeah.
Fair. Is anyone out? Vidar, a technician, what are you guys doing?
Mostly just trying to do mental math and calculate all of the. We just dumped more money than this guy's ever seen into his company, trying to figure out when we should expect certain returns and figure out if he's betrayed us or anything yet. Not that we expect, because he seems to be a big Cody Yeager fan. Trust but verify.
Rep has been asking around about local cave systems. I think I could be wrong on this, but I believe Bounty Master Sinhal did tell us about a nearby cave that was not the one that we'd visited before. I wasn't sure if that was related.
Fair. Where was that? I believe it was in between two of the cities up north.
Yes, I want to say he said it was between Trimble and Heimdall, but
yes.
yeah.
Right near the river, actually, on the northeastern side, basically the eastern side of Heimdall. There's that river that goes right next to the mountains. That would be where it is. And Loershik, you are very familiar with that area.
Got it.
Are you guys setting off then?
Yeah, I think so. I see two nods and zero
Nice.
contestations.
So it's going to take you 2 days, basically 3 days to get there. Total. You already sent your message for the day this morning when you first got up with your sending stones, so they are dark. Are you guys taking any preparations? Are you taking horses? I assume you're taking horses, right? You're getting some horses from Bounty Master Sinhald in the stables. Yeah, you start making your way up. Casimir also has nothing else to do. He's just been hanging out with you guys eating meat because he's just chilling.
And doing some very nice artwork on his brand new +1 great axe.
Yep.
Horn axe. That's how you described it. Yeah.
Yep. The first day, actually, technically, I think it takes 3 days to get from Trimble Turfor to. It takes 2.5 days to get from Turfor to Gunderfort. So I need someone to say high or low.
Low. Oh,
Low? Okay.
yeah.
Go and roll a D100 for me then, please. Oh. Okay. Everyone make a perception check, please.
What did you do, monster?
I don't know, but I certainly didn't perceive anything.
For once. Wow, Loershik rolled a 19. What the heck? As you guys head up there, I need to change the perspective of the observer. All of you, it's basically the first day is uneventful. You're just walking along the road. You see like the little towers that are built, and the sentries sort of wave at you as you pass. Are you all disguised? Oh,
Yeah,
Evie's
we would-
always disguised, so.
Always-
Yeah, Evie's always disguised. I basically always disguise when traveling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So instead of waving at you, they sort of give you like a sort of suspicious look when they realize that you're not doing anything, you're just traveling, that they don't really worry about it, because you know that people, generally speaking, people who are up to no good are not very good at hiding it. The second day, however, right? Are you doing Ascending Stone on the first day, or the day after? So like. The road, the curve in between, like right up until Gunderford, there's like that curve that sort of goes like this. Are you doing any Sending Stone stuff?
I don't think we need to. I don't think
We
it
had
makes
asked for
sense
a
to
reply,
tell.
didn't we?
We had most recently received a reply and then sent one after in the same day. We never received a reply. I don't believe we asked for a reply explicitly. Just like if there's
Nope,
further
you're
instruction.
just
let us
sending
know.
information.
Yeah. And currently the only updates we would be able to give them are information on the resistance or Renault's rations, which I think it probably makes sense to just hold on for now.
Or where we're
Not
heading,
sure with the
but it
warbands.
makes more
Yeah.
sense to say where we're going to be right before we get there, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think any Sending Stone's going outbound for now, at least.
Okay, so I have to ask because it matters. Obviously, your amount of communication matters. If you don't send the information, they're not going to worry about you. The second day, the second evening, you're going to reach Gunderford at the beginning of the third day, essentially. Are you sending anything on the second day? Because you don't receive anything on either day.
We haven't heard from the warbands in a few days. Does it
We
make sense
have.
for us to?
We have.
We have.
Yes. We were approached by a small spider that seemed to be native to this area, who relayed a message to us that said we were to proceed with our mission as we saw fit and return at our own convenience.
Glad I missed that.
I was on the beach.
On the beach.
Glad I
Beach-
blocked that out of my memory.
It is very likely you suffered a dissociative episode due to the spider.
Yeah, that happens.
Are you guys worried at all?
Not at this
I'm
point.
not. Okay.
I wonder how.
Are you
safe
sure
it
you're
is to
not? You
assume
have
that-
asked several times.
I wonder if it's safe to assume that we could send and receive messages via Spider going forward, and that the sending stones may become redundant.
I mean, you can. I think we can hang on to the stone, just in case someone might not want to be communicating with arachnids.
Do you speak spider? Vidar. No, Vidar, do you speak spider?
No, but they seem pretty capable of speaking common, where appropriate. At this point, I am not overly concerned about sending a message.
Hmm.
I feel like we would have heard something if there was issues on their end.
I suggest when we
have
reach
not had
Trimble,
any troubles.
we let them know that we are heading to a cave east of Heindel, and ask for a response or some form of situation report to know whether or not it is safe to return when we are done. The last time we went back there, there were piles of corpses.
They had told us that there were issues that they were handling on their own as well, so we had received word.
Sorry, I did not mean that that would be a problem for us. It does seem likely we could return while an attack is happening.
I look over to Casimir and ask him what he thinks.
If the warband has issues, I believe that they would have told us already or requested us to come back.
I assume that they have sending stones with a lot of different groups of people who are out and about. Would it be feasible for them to be able to send a message to everyone?
Absolutely. We have the diviners, the people that prevented them from people from seeing into the warband territories. They also have the ability to send one-way messages as well. Generally speaking, it's worldwide as well. So
I'm not worried. I think we can just hang on. I'd be worried if we got to like near the end of the day and they sent us a message and we weren't able to reply if we needed to.
okay, at the end of the second day, all of you don't even have to make perception checks on this one. And the first perception check was to watch. You watch the migration of what are known as frost. They're called frost antler deer. And they're basically moose-sized deer, except their horns are made of this like sort of rock ice, but it's actually like gemstone. And it's a huge herd, like hundreds of them. Basically passed. It's sort of like a modern train crossing that they passed over the road, but it was like a 15-minute long crossing of these huge gem antlered deer that are really, really pretty. At the end of the second day, it's like very early at night. Are you guys camping or no? Or are you just continuing to move?
We're riding horseback, right?
Yep.
I mean, I wouldn't mind camping and hearing some stories about how on earth the three of them managed to set up businesses in the few hours that I went to go grab a drink with some friends. Just, catch up on that and then resume our travels.
We should probably rest. It would be unwise to not take a rest in 4 days.
I've never felt fatigue before, though.
Yeah, you just die instead.
That will eventually catch up with you.
Meta DM is just sitting here giving me evil eyes.
Yeah, you have awoken the encumbrance system, and that's not good. That's no good.
Oh no, I've been watching you guys encumbrance. That's why I took away coin weight. You guys basically make your camp, and midway through your explanation of setting up your business deals with Renault, the ground begins to shake violently.
Oh god, I'm sorry we camped.
It was gonna happen whether you camped or not.
Okay.
I wonder if they fixed music. They just updated again. Let's do some Forest Day. What the heck? Hold on. There we go. Oh yeah, I need to mute this one. Sorry, I'm just getting my thoughts in process. The ground begins to shake violently, and just as you're sitting there on your eastern side, you're basically sitting in this huge plain that goes from basically one side of the island to the other. On your western side, there's huge forests with these gigantic trees, and on the right side, there's a bunch of trees, but they lead up into a giant set of mountains. In that set of mountains, you see emerge an enormous sort of serpent-like creature. If any of you would like to make a history check, you might be able to know what it is.
I would like to for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm a dumb.
I don't know shit.
The robot boys, we know shit.
Technician in Vidar. Vidar, you know this creature from like rumors of it existing a long time ago in its like natal form. This is a giant serpent known as Jormungandr. It's basically a huge worm that is slowly devouring the world. And it's currently weaving its way through the mountains. But it instead of taking like the classic like worm D&D form, which is basically a giant worm that just has a big mouth that opens and devours stuff, this one is more of like the Chinese serpent dragon-esque form, but with armor plates attached to it.
Are we in Pandaria right now?
No, but it's a little bit. This creature is specifically inspired by, like, if you were to take those serpents and make them Deathwing style, that's what it looks like. Callum has not
moving in our
reappeared
direction?
yet. What?
Is it?
Is he moving in our direction?
No, he's moving along the mountainside on the eastern edge.
He devours the world, but not like that's just like he eats dirt. That's not like he's going to eat people. Or
No.
is he? He's not aggressive. He's just destructive.
Yep.
And okay, so I'm going to convey that kind of all of the lore about things to the rest of the team. Be like, oh yeah, he's over there. That's terrifying, but we should be safe. Just don't provoke him.
Hungry serpent.
There is legend that a warrior that was wielding a hammer of superior strength once challenged the serpent at the behest of the king.
As you're saying that, Callum walks out from, you're not really sure where it is. He goes, yep, that's right. I told someone to fight it. It didn't go well. The guy died real quick. Didn't even look at him and he just died.
Loerchik, you are making that face you always made when you were hearing voices.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's a Callum. He's back.
Oh,
Hello, Callum.
he has returned.
Oh,
He is
thank
risen.
God.
I said he wasn't back yet, Fred.
How you doing, Callum? Where'd you go?
I don't know. I just sort of stopped existing and then I had a conversation with this giant thing for a few days. No, now I'm back. I don't really know how
Good
to
conversation.
it was alright. He kept going on about watermelons. It's weird. I don't know what his deal was, but many watermelons were talked about. Don't really know.
I look to the rest of the crew and I say, Callum's the one who told the guy to fight Jormungandr. Also,
Jormungandr.
who's Jormungandr. Also, he was having a conversation with some big dude about watermelons. Anyone know what that's all about?
It wasn't really big. He's just
Callum. What kind of melons? Like actual watermelons? Or
yeah, green, red on the inside, sweet.
That sounds like an orc.
Orcs are not sweet when you eat them.
I wouldn't know.
They're quite salty.
Apparently, orcs are salty when you eat them. Everyone.
I imagine they would be quite put off by that.
Yeah, well, good thing there's no orcs around.
Casimir just turns his head slowly towards you. Casimir's a half
I
orc.
toss
Yes, yeah.
toss Casimir a piece of beef jerky.
Right. Yeah. Casimir just smiles at you and starts eating beef jerky, but still giving you the glare. I am not meat. Loershik.
Callum, while you were gone, we We invest in a business. We like meat, so we invest in a meat business.
Yeah. How much do each of them cost?
Each piece of meat.
If that's what you're calling the men, yes.
Oh. Oh
Because
no.
you're gay, right?
No.
Wait, was this meat shop a front for a gentleman's hideaway?
Their original idea was that we should start a brothel.
Oh, can we start?
You could still do that.
All right,
Yes,
Yeah.
there is
you know
no
what?
reason.
You guys
Yes,
go on. I'm going back to Turf War. I'm gonna open a men-only brothel, and you can
Upstairs
just
to our
leave
meat
me
shop.
here for the rest of the campaign. Honestly,
We'll have Renault's rations, and upstairs it'll be Evie's.
meat shop.
Evie's Meat Market.
Yes, ma'am.
So wait. I'm sorry, meta. But at this point, we now have a 3-story building with the underground railroad in the basement, the charcuterie on the ground floor, and then the Chippendales plus extras on the second floor. This is
Which
now?
one is a front for which? We'll never tell.
I'm going to the meat shop. Wink. What?
Special guest
No.
Yvonne. What?
I am not gay, Callum, but thank you for.
You could have fooled me with all the talk about meat and everything. I thought it was all some sort of large
it's just
metaphor.
yummy, man. Yeah.
Oh right. Well, I don't care.
Everyone, Callum wants you to know that he was king, but he had a prince that he was courting.
That's incredibly progressive.
You
Congratulations.
Right. If you want to play that game, that's fine. I can play that game too. You know how I can play that game? And he walks into you, and you just start going, "I love penis. I am a huge penis lover. I love penises everywhere."
Congratulations.
Oh, Warshik, we've been waiting for this day.
And he is glowing like red, like he's being soul stitch at the moment.
Vidar is going to inquire how a penis to cloaca interface actually works.
Quite painfully most of the time.
Interface.
And Callum steps out of you and just winks at you.
I just shake my head. I think everyone knows. I don't need to defend myself.
Oh, we know.
Rep is going to put his hand on Lord Chick's shoulder and say, "I will attempt to be supportive of you."
That's fine. That's fine. It's fine.
All right. So that's the end of the second day. Is you seeing Jormungandr. You make
We
it.
rested, right? We sat down. We talked.
You did. If you
Yeah.
if you need a long rest, take a long rest. Most of you should be fine though.
Preparing spells, I think maybe short of kind of a little bit. I don't know what happened to my spell list now. Okay.
Is it gone?
No, my favorites reset, and I'm assuming because of an import, because now I've got all the things in there. So fun times. I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
There we go. We're good.
All right. You make it to Gunderford in the early morning of the next day. It's quite bustling. Are you guys doing anything specific? Excuse me. Are you doing anything specific when you get here?
To invest into?
Okay.
I'm kidding. We've never been to Gunderford before, right?
We
No.
passed through all these towns when we were going.
You passed through
We
it.
passed through. We didn't stop and take in the sights. We didn't do the tour. We didn't see the haunted houses. We didn't check out the garden district of Gunderford, the famous garden district of Gunderford.
Sure.
The fountain. No, I'm
Sure.
I
He's gonna
say,
kill
I
you.
just say we didn't do anything in Gunderford. We passed through. I'm not trying to make up your world for you, Devin. I'm
I'm
being
willing to do it.
hilarious.
I'm willing to go
I
do that.
know.
I don't care.
I need to stop being hilarious.
No.
What is the what's all about the garden district in Gunderford? Does anyone have familiarity?
Yeah, make a
I'd love
history
to see
check.
it.
Make a history check for me. Please.
Everybody or just okay.
Everybody. So, the Garden District of Gunderford is famous for having basically it's a gigantic orchard that they have planted all sorts of non-invasive plants around each of the trees, and they have loads of examples of the different trees that grow within the crag, because the crag is known for having the wood there is just exceptional and things like that. Sometimes there are trees. Are you guys gonna
Did you
visit
say
it?
the wood is exceptional?
The wood is exceptional in Gunderford.
Can you describe it?
Yeah, it depends on which type of wood. What type of wood are you talking about? Are you talking about they have these wood that it's called what is it? Hold on. I actually have a note somewhere. Hold on. There is a special tree that's only native to Gunderford that is called coal bark. It's basically like a variation of a cork tree, except the outside sort of decays itself into a coal coke, and that's a natural process that the tree goes through. Is the bark on the tree becomes coal coke, which is used to make steel.
Yeah, I was about to ask that. So you could literally cook pizza or smith swords. That's pretty awesome.
And that's one of the native trees specifically to the Gunderford area, as well as some of the more hardy trees. The ironheart trees have these cores on the inside that instead of is the basically the saplings of an ironheart tree are essentially, they take up all the iron from the surrounding areas and integrate it into the wood. So the very center of the tree is usually made of basically a similar material to iron that can be worked and stuff like that. And it actually takes enchantment really easily. It takes a little bit less temper to enchant ironheart wood than it would anything else. That's how they make magical shields and things like that. That kind of thing. Are you guys going to visit the garden?
I would like to. Do you guys mind if we go see the garden while we're here?
We could take a short aside. We are, in fact, trying to track a person.
That's fine. I can play hide and seek.
Okay.
Where did Bounty Master Sinold say the nearest cave was?
Between Heindel and Trimball.
Thank you, sorry.
Sorry, give me a second. So the actual garden in Gunderford is known as Willow Grove. It's actually quite beautiful. The second that you enter this area, it's basically this huge sort of orchard that has all these different trees, and they're spaced out evenly to make sure that they are not evenly but relative to the tree. So they have this gigantic cypress tree. They have a huge willow similar to the Whomping Willow from Harry Potter that's just enormous, and it has a bunch of trees scattered around it. And then underneath that are a bunch of trees that don't require a bunch of plants that don't require a lot of sunlight. And then there are these paths that they've built all around it that are quite beautiful. Are you guys looking for anything specific?
Is this a place that you just kind of roam around, or is there attendants and stuff like that handy?
There are some attendants that are very clearly paid to be there, but they just are basically sitting in a chair, and if you have questions about specific plants or anything like that, you can ask them.
I was going to ask one just about the size of these trees. Look as though they have been growing for quite a while. Are they magically grown like in Turfor, or are they just not cut down ever?
These trees are actually naturally grown. Some of them were transplanted from the Verdengard and some of the other areas, and we have some druids that maintain a large spell to basically make sure each area has its own weather temperament that are healthy for the tree and the plants that are accompanying said tree. So the answer is yes and no. We do not accelerate growth. We just maintain life within the garden itself. Evie, will you make a perception check for me, please?
Yes. What have I perceived?
You're actually you wander off slightly because this is not a place where people get violent, and you wander off just a little bit, and you come upon this massive lake in the middle. It's not big enough to be put on the map, obviously, because it's not it's not like miles and miles, but it's huge for this area. And on it, there are a bunch of lily pads. And then on those lily pads and surrounding them are a bunch of variations of lotus flower. And all of those are surrounded by a huge amount of cedar and hemlock trees. That, you know, those trees in like the marsh and swamplands that they grow into the water and then they're above it and they always have these big algae like bands and stuff like that. They're really pretty, but all those trees are surrounded by these like massive lily pads and then like different variations of some carnivorous plants as well as lotus flowers.
The lotus flowers, are they at all like the one that I got from... wasn't it a lotus flower that was tempered?
Yeah. It there is one that looks exactly the same as it. Will you make with your 25 perception as you're looking, you immediately notice it, and it has like, because all lotus flowers have these little buds in the middle that come off of white stems. Yours is perfectly preserved as if it was alive, and it looks exactly the same, except the one that's in the water is glowing. And as you're like looking at it, the water's sort of like drifting because of a light breeze, and the load and the sort of stuff around it goes away, and you notice immediately that it's growing out of a corpse that's in the water.
That's horrifying. I just gonna like take a half step. I'm not like super freaked out by dead things, but the fact that there's a flower growing out of something that's dead is very curious. So, can I see anything else, like what type of body it is, or any other?
Oh, are you gonna go? Are you
indicators
gonna
of what
move?
happened?
Are you gonna move closer to it?
Yeah, I'll move closer to it.
Okay, you could either make an investigation or perception check again if you'd like.
This computer's a little slow. I'm trying to check which one gets higher.
I think your perception is much higher.
Yeah, it is. It is.
As you move closer to it, you realize that this creature is alive.
Okay, alive things freak me out a little more than dead things.
Well, it's definitely dead, but it's an undead.
Great, that's definitely worse.
And the undead is actually being held down by a chain that is directly anchored into, basically, you're walking along this bridge, this stone bridge that's been set over this lake, and it basically divides it right in the middle. There's lotus flowers on the right side, and then a bunch of other carnivorous plants and stuff on the left side. On the right side, this thing is anchored into the bridge to where it can't move very far away from it, and all around it are these gigantic vines that appear to be growing along the bottom of the lake. And it's also anchoring the body to the thing, but it has one eye that sort of has these like roots of this plant is growing directly out of its head from a hole that was there, and it has one eyeball on the top of it that's just sort of staring right at you.
Does it look to be in distress or pain?
No, not at all.
I'm gonna pick up a pebble from the bridge and just drop it like next to the thing and see if it moves.
You actually watch the eye follow the pebble as it hits the water.
Does it flinch at all?
No, not at all.
Okay, I'm gonna crouch down and just say hello.
A bunch of bubbles appear from its mouth.
Oh. Kendall's gonna try and like swat down towards it. I'm just gonna like put her in my cloak shoulder area. Don't touch that. So there's nothing else around it. It's just this undead thing anchored to the bridge, and there's a lotus flower growing out of it, like the one I have.
Yep.
Where are my friends?
Where are you guys? You shouldn't be too far. I assume that you guys are taking your sweet time just looking at. There's a lot to look at. That's the problem.
Can we assume that we're not friends with her?
Okay,
Instead of assuming that we are?
where are my two friends then?
Where's the rest of the party? Yeah.
I'm halfway to Trimble. I didn't stop.
God.
Rep has been investigating the coal bark tree.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay? The coal bark tree for basically for crafting purposes, but he's just kind of mulling it over, thinking about it, imagining
I'm
some of the things
gonna-
he could do with that.
I'm gonna ask Kendall to go trot off and pull Rep over here.
As long as you're looking at the coal bark tree, Kindle sort of runs up to you and doesn't scratch at your leg, but does a big stretch in front of you and just sort of looks at you and chirps for a second.
Hello.
And then it immediately starts walking toward Evie and looking
Okay,
back,
Rep is
looking back at
Rep is gonna follow Kendall.
When he gets there, I'm just gonna point down at the under the bridge and be like, have you ever seen something like this before?
History. What do you need?
nature.
Nature.
Or nature or arcana.
Arcana.
You have heard of a flower that fits this description, but you're not really sure what its purpose is, and it's sort of a strange thing that they call it the Death's Head lotus. But you're not really sure outside of that information with the 21. You do know that its magical nature is that as if it's implanted into a dead creature, that creature will come to life for an extended period while the flower is bloomed.
Okay.
And they use on average, a lot of the people, it's actually native to the crag specifically because it grows very well in cold weather. But they use this to solve murder cases and things like that when people, or if you can only find a head of someone, you could plant the flower and then talk to the dead using that because
Gotcha.
It's so tragic. Just put a flower. Who killed you? And then they just die again.
No, they get to be alive as long as the flowers. Okay, so I'm going to relay this to Evie. I'm not 100% certain, but I believe this is a Death's Head lotus. It has been implanted into a dead creature for the purpose of bringing that creature back to life while the flower blooms. So it is very likely that creature was dead. The flower has grown from it. It now is alive until the flower wilts.
Interesting. It looks like it's someone chained it to the bridge, though.
It is very possible. Have you tried talking to it?
Kind of. I threw a rock at it and said hello.
The customs of greeting in the crag do bewilder me.
I know. We just take note. Make sure you do that next time you see someone in the crag. That's how we kill it.
Is there an obvious way, maybe pulling up the chain just a little bit to get that creature's head above the water so we can have a conversation?
Yeah. You could probably reach down and grab it if you wanted to.
Okay.
It's not that the bridge is only a few inches above the water because the water here is extremely still, and then the creature's basically floating at the surface. All you would have to do is lean down and grab the chain and pull up if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean down, grab the chain, and pull up just a bit. We're just trying to get the creature to where its mouth is above water, so we can see if we can have a conversation.
Sure. You pull it up, and the eyeball like spazzes out for a second, then focuses right on you.
Hello. We understand that you have experienced some significant trauma and are most likely dead. But we were curious how you came to be this way.
I volunteered, actually.
Oh my god.
What an interesting proposition. Why would you volunteer to be dead?
Well, at the time that I found the flower, I was doing some research, and another flower in this very lake killed me. And I had already signed my life away to science and magic. So here I am. It's actually
That is
not as bad.
fascinating.
It's not as bad as you think it is. The only reason I'm chained is so that I don't float away.
So you do in life you behaved as a botanist, and in
Yes.
death you behave as a docent?
Yes. And I am content and happy, and it's very nice that it doesn't hurt. I can imagine that this would be a painful process.
That is intriguing. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Evie, was there anything else you'd like to ask this docent?
So who put the you put the flower in yourself? I'm trying to understand because I have one of these too and just like take it out of my bag and show him
Well,
my flower.
the strange thing about the Death's Head Lotus is that if you die, it will implant itself into you. See, the flower in that state is in a sort of hibernation period where it's sort of waiting for a host, because it's not really a plant. It's not a flower. It's technically a parasite. It's an organism that feeds off of your flesh, but it requires dead flesh. It's a carrion organism that provides life at the same time as draining nutrients from the corpse itself.
Oh,
So it's technically a carnivorous plant.
I see. Well,
It just
that's
happens to have
great
the
to
side
know.
effect of keeping someone alive after they die.
What a side effect.
I know, right?
It seems to have worked out for you.
More or less. I would prefer to not be underwater, but it requires an exceptional amount of water, so here I am.
Thank you for the information that you have provided. Is there anything that we may do for you?
And he actually does bring up one of his arms and like pulls it out of the vines and like sort of itches. He said, "Oh, no. I am content now. I've had an itchy head for about 2 years. So I've been able to, and he like literally is digging inside of his head because he has like a hole in his skull. He's like digging
Gross.
in there. He's like, oh, yes. Oh, I'm fine now.
Okay.
Okay, I am going to put you back down now.
Okay, have fun in the garden.
Oh, sorry. What was your name? Is your name? I apologize.
He just looks around for a second. I don't remember. But I've heard them call me Drowned Ben. That's what I've heard them call me.
Round Ben. I'll just call you Ben.
Sure.
All right. Well, it was nice meeting you, Ben, and thank you for the information on the carnivorous parasite plant I've been carrying around. That's really great to know. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you for taking the opportunity to help me out. Most people don't even notice me.
I
So,
gotcha. Sorry about the rock.
You didn't hit me. It was fine.
All right. Cool.
And Rep Rap is just going to very gently lower him back into the water.
Have a great day. And he just sort of settles back
Goodbye.
in.
As we're walking away, I like look at Rip Rap and I just say, I'm not sure they'd believe us if we told them, so let's just not.
Certainly, I will keep this between us,
Lo-
unless it becomes timely and relevant.
uh,
Yeah, I mean, if I die and
Yeah,
the flower attaches itself to me, feel
or
free to explain.
Lorchik.
um, there is also something in technician that you think of that potentially having the flower readily available could potentially extend the period in which someone can be resurrected. Because normally some spells have like a time limit. Potentially, if you get the flower implanted early enough, you can keep them like in a state where they can be resurrected for a longer period.
A fascinating side effect of the flower being used. I do not know the process of resurrection, but the mechanics of it were explained to me one time by a cleric that needed work done. And he said it was very important to use fresh bodies. Sorry, that the resurrected be not dead very long, or be kept on the cusp of life as long as possible. It
Uh,
does occur to me this flower could be used to extend the time in which it would be possible to resurrect somebody. There was a crowd in my head for just a
I
second
know,
there.
right? And you would have absolutely learned that information after the attack on the war bands when you were healing
Yeah, okay.
people and helping everyone out. You probably would have come to someone who's freshly dead, and they would have been resurrected in front of you, and they'd have been like, "Oh, well, the only reason I was able to do that is because he probably died a few minutes ago or
Right.
whatever." There,
Because Rap wants to understand the mechanics, and so he's going to ask. Yeah.
oh yeah, you absolutely. There's 100% lore friendly reason for you to know all that information actually, because of your experience with the dead and like the dying in the war bands. Loershik and Vidar, where did you go?
I've been roaming around constantly asking the attendants unnecessary, annoying details about the trees.
I went and sat under the enormous willow tree and just enjoyed looking out over the grove.
It is actually super nice under there. It's a little bit humid, so it's a little bit better for you. But it's actually quite nice. And Vidar, you are asking questions that would probably be annoying to normal people, but these people are very clearly passionate about their jobs and passionate about like where they are and everything, because they'll talk to you for a long time about every question that you have. They're never like, "Oh, this question again." Because they're very clearly passionate about what they do. What are you guys doing now? Let's just go ahead and start with Vidar. Are you doing anything else specific while in the garden, or are you wanting to move on?
No, I probably get through all of the questions like, how old is this tree? Have you ever tried to punch one of the trees? All that kind of stuff. Get it all out of the way. And then just probably go wait near the entrance to see what everyone else is up to.
Okay. Evie, are you doing anything else?
No, I had my encounter and probably just gonna walk around the flowers and just be a little bit at peace for a second while we have it.
Loershik, what are you doing besides sitting under your tree?
I have taken the original bones from our first encounter, the spears that I made. I've just been rubbing them and admiring my own craftsmanship. And I assume Callum's just hanging out with me.
He's sitting down he's laying down right next to you, literally on his back, looking up into the branches of the tree and like playing with how the light passes through his his ethereal body, and like he's just taking in the world around him.
I poke him with one of the spears to see how he reacts to being poked with his own bones.
He just turns to you. He says, "I know what you're doing. I can't feel nothing."
I take the spear back and set it in my bag.
Is that what you're doing? You're just chilling?
Just fucking with Callum.
Okay.
I missed him. Trying to get some Callum time back in.
Fair. Technician, what are you doing?
At this point, basically following Evie. Still sort of synthesizing uses for the coal bark. That's it, really.
Okay. So, pretty much the first, like, a couple hours of the day are spent in this beautiful garden, just for Technician and Evie walking around. Vidar sort of, like, just being himself. He can't get away from his scouting and things abilities. Loershik is just chilling under the tree. And eventually you make your way out. Would you like to head to Trimball? Because you could probably make it there by tomorrow morning if you headed out and camped in the middle on the road.
Yep.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Are you heading all the way through, or are you going to go? Are you just traveling the whole night, or are you going to rest?
I think that if Technician and Vidar are capable of guiding our horses, I can probably sleep on top of my horse.
Yeah, we've done this in the past. I think we can swing another one of those. So we'll pull an all-nighter, try to get to Trimball in one night.
And
Or
you
in one
can.
day, rather. Yeah.
You absolutely can. It's actually not that hard. Evie does her like little meditation thing while Vidar takes her horse as well. And the funniest part is that Casimir just passes out on his horse and remains upright somehow. You're not really sure how, but you've seen him do this more than once, is that he sleeps standing up. He's able to do it. He's able to sleep with his eyes open. He's able to sleep pretty much anywhere, any time. He could just fall asleep if he wanted to. It's a voluntary thing for him.
Rep is going to sort of lean over to Vidar and sort of nod towards Casimir and just be like, he is a fascinating man. The constant vigilance.
Indeed, that's why he's so terrifying.
Also the size. The size.
That contributes a little bit.
The thickness.
But you guys make it to Trimball a lot earlier, before the sun even rises. You're able to make it to Trimball. What are you guys doing there?
Vidar asks, "Does Trimball have any gardens?"
No.
None that I am aware of,
To-
and they would not be that great at night.
After our rough experience underwater, these past few days of relaxing and investing have been appreciated. But alas, I guess we should move on.
I believe Lorchik is awake and wants to say something now.
On our way to Trimball, I ask Callum a little bit more about his watermelon friend, and specifically ask, you weren't by chance talking to someone celestial, were you?
Celestial, no. Dead, yes.
Like you could reach out and touch them, or you being ethereal still? couldn't
No,
touch
I
them,
was
but-
real. In the plane I was in, it was real. It's like we're in some sort of like plane of death where you go after you die, like similar to the astral plane, but not quite.
Interesting. What is the obsession with watermelons?
I don't know. It's just watermelons were his thing. He's like this little elf boy. He's weird.
Interesting. Okay. That's all.
Did anyone else hear Lorshik muttering about watermelons?
I believe because he is now out, he no longer has to mutter about meat. So he's moved on.
He's expanding his horizons.
Oh, okay, Meta. None of the rest of us can see or hear Callum as often
No.
as you can. We have to specifically do something to make that happen. So as far as we know, as far as we're aware, you came out. That's what happened.
No, you can see like a little bit of a red glow
Yeah.
to him when Callum is inside of him.
I'm colorblind. That's lore. No, I'm kidding. Let's not make that lore now.
That's gonna bite you
Next-
later if you did.
Yeah, next time you put a memory chip in,
Yeah,
it's
this
gonna
is-
corrupt your vision.
Fantastically
Devin
awful
is
character traits to
smiling.
have. Yeah. No. I said that too fast. That one slipped out. That's my bad. I apologize for running my mouth earlier about the gardens.
Okay.
When we now that we're in Trimball, I assume the city has like what are the knights in what's the main city for the Alliance and or Orgrimmar? Like there's
Osmond, yeah.
guards.
Yeah.
I assume that Trimball
Stormwind. You're
has
talking
something
about
similar.
Stormwind.
Stormwind, that's it. Thank you. I knew it was
Yeah.
this.
Osmond.
My brain is. I assume they have some similar.
Yes. Every town has like guards.
Okay. I asked one of the guards if he knows where the nearest cave would be to get to Dahakoan.
They look at you with the most confused look you've ever seen.
Do you speak common by chance?
They both look at you. They're both wearing full-faced helmets.
So no to you don't know where Dahakoan is. Do you know about the underground cave? Delio? Nope. All right. Well, never mind then. Is there anyone in the town who looks like me? Anyone reptilian in nature?
I haven't seen anyone like that in a long time. There was this green
long
guy that
time.
came through a long time ago.
Oh, I know that guy. He sucks.
Are any of your friends in town spelunkers, geographers, or stoneworkers?
No, but
Goblins,
we had a load of adventurers go, and they came back with empty-handed. They said it was just too hot.
Do you know where they went?
No, but they should be at the adventuring guild with the bounty masters.
Excellent. Thank you.
They sort of nod at you.
So, going to try to proceed past the guards through the gate then.
Sure, you do. That's uneventful. They're not going to hold you. They have no reason to hold you. All of you make a perception check for me, please. Loeshik and Evie, you notice in the distance, inside the town, there are two large men in wide-brimmed hats that have a very large skull symbol on the very top of them.
Same skull symbol from when we met the necromancer,
No.
the vampire. Sorry.
No.
Same wide brim hats as we met. We found the witch hunter in the graveyard with the banshee. Yeah. Okay.
There are two of them.
As soon as we see them, we'll like stop in place and tap Vidar and Rep and just like gesture in that direction and kind of like try to like blend in. Is there crowds or buildings maybe that just kind of like not be super visible?
Sure. You guys want to try and stealth past them?
No.
Would we have to go past them to get to the Adventurers Guild?
Yep.
Is there any alternate route that is not like that we would need to stealth past them, but we can like go in between alleyways or something?
Yeah, you can try if you would like to. The problem is that they're being very vigilant in their looking at stuff, and they're like stopping people.
So we look
Taking
like
an
we're
alternate
looking
route
for
around them, taking an alternate route around them may actually be more suspicious. However, they are probably looking for a group of people. It would be possible for us to condense down to a single person.
How's that?
So I have this bag that we would all be able to fit in theory.
Alternatively, we could just stagger.
When you say stagger, you mean pretend to be drunk.
No, like not walk in a group.
Oh. Disperse, I see.
Yeah, like stagger our.
Stagger
Passing
the approach, not stagger our steps.
Yes.
I try to
Besides-
stealth.
Were we not disguised when we saw them last, or we were?
We weren't, because we were waiting for nightfall for the banshee so that we could kill the banshee and stick her in a bottle and all that rigmarole. We weren't anticipating being ambushed. So,
Okay, well,
but apparently,
it
Lord
doesn't-
Chick has just proceeded to yell stealth and try to walk through them. So,
yeah.
No, actually, he tried to walk
Okay.
past them, but he got wind of a scent of a specific blue-fleshed pig. Smells delicious.
I meander my way towards the smell.
Which is why you're not very stealthy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make perception checks for my guys, and if they might target you. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a perception check to see if they see you. Are you guys staggering yourselves, or are you going
Well-
to? Okay, so Lorshik's going first, obviously.
Wandering by myself.
I'm standing near the area, kind of just like pretending to look at like a vendor's wares or whatever, but kind of keeping an eye on the guards and what they're doing.
High or low,
Not the guards.
Lorshik?
Low.
Roll a d100 for me. Both of them immediately turn to you. Excuse me. Would you come over
Yes.
here, please?
Sure. I walk up to them. Hi there.
What are you doing here?
Oh,
And-
we're just
and-
passing through.
These guys are probably like 8 inches taller than you, so they're looking a little bit down on you, but they're very clearly like they have
They're
these
7 feet
large.
tall.
Yeah. They're like they're wearing these large leather trench coats that very clearly have armor or something on underneath them. And one of them appears to have a firearm of some sort.
I'm just passing through. Just stopping for some more snacks. I've been burning through my beef jerky. Do you guys have any recommendations on meat vendors around here?
No. I do understand that there's only one meat cart, and it's over there. And they like
Thank you,
point
I
in that
appreciate that.
direction. Move
Anything
along.
else I can help you with?
No.
Okay.
You have passed the inspection. Move along.
I walk towards the meat cart.
Did we see this happen?
Yeah.
Plan, anyone?
Vidar walks up towards them and directly approaches them and asks if they know where the Adventurers Guild is.
Vidar
And-
does?
Yeah, and he kind of purposefully kind of like stumbles and acts a little bit clumsy while doing so. And he approaches and says, "Hi, I am a aspiring adventurer, and I would love to know where the Adventurers Guild is. I'm kind of new to this, so I don't know where I'm going."
Make a deception check at advantage, please. Okay. They both look. The one of them clearly doesn't pay attention to you at all, and he's still looking around. The other one goes, "It's right behind us, over here." And he sort of points with his gigantic hand. He says, I think you need more experience before you start adventuring, but good luck." He sort of pats you on the back.
Thank you. I'm going to ask for advice there. So thank you.
Well
I
done.
walk past over towards the Adventurer Guild.
Who's next?
I'm gonna tell Kindle to go like kind of running, like we're gonna play tag, and I'm gonna try and chase her past the guards. Like she's the only thing that I'm preoccupied with looking at or dealing with.
Okay.
They're not guards, sorry. Past the
Inquisitors.
Inquisitors.
Witch
yes.
hunters.
Wait, witch hunters? Like magic? They don't like magic things?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, JK. My fire cat is not going that direction. I'm just gonna
Ooh, perfect
put
time.
my hood up and just try and walk past.
So you're going to stealth past them.
Yeah.
Would you make a stealth check for me, please?
Oh boy.
Okay. Both of them go right to you. "Excuse me, miss."
I like pull down a corner of the side of my hood and like look at how close they are to me, which is
About 10 or 15 yards.
would it be just super foolish to run?
Yes.
I'll take my hood down and just like look at both of them and be like, "What's up, boys?"
We need to ask you a few questions. Would you come closer, please? I need you
yeah,
to make
go
a
for it.
perception check, please.
Good God. Music is not helping.
They have a large rune circle inscribed on the dirt that is very clearly magical in nature.
I'm gonna maybe try and keep my distance from that a little bit.
Do me and Technician and maybe Vidar see this happening.
Yes.
Alright. Can I help you with something?
So you're staying outside the circle?
Yeah.
They look at you, they say, "Come closer."
I'd rather not.
Why is that? Just come over
I
here.
don't know you.
Just come
strange
talk.
man.
Just come talk to me. Come talk to us. We have to ask you a few questions.
Can you ask from here?
No.
Got a really fucking bad feeling about this.
I start walking towards the Adventurers Guild, which I assume is still right behind them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just. take a
Okay,
step
so real quick, seeing all this happen, Rap would like to sleight of hand his hand into the tan bag of tricks.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So sleight of hand.
Okay.
Okay. Bag of tricks. If I can find it. There we go. And then just 1d8?
Yep.
Okay.
A giant hyena.
Okay. So, while still trying not to draw any attention to himself whatsoever, command the hyena to sort of head in their direction, but not directly at them, and cast Levitate on the hyena.
Okay.
If I can remember where levitate is. There we go. Okay. Hyena is friendly to me and the party. Does it need to do the saving throw or no?
No.
Okay. So we now have a levitating giant hyena?
Yep.
Okay. So Rep is going to approach the two witch hunters and like avoiding the magic circle, and say, "Pardon me. I believe there is arcane magic afoot," and just point at the levitating giant hyena.
They both turn. Oh, god damn it. Why can't it just repeat it? Why can't it just repeat the thing?
And they said a blaze.
They turn over there. And,
I did see a suspicious-looking man. He went down that alleyway.
make a deception check at advantage, please.
Okay. Deception at advantage.
Nice.
Talk about lying my ass off.
I missed it by 1. I rolled a 20 on my insight check. So you succeeded by 1.
Oh.
Yes. Nat 20 is not always a success.
Wishful thinks.
But it was in this case. So what do you like? The guy did it over there.
I say there was a man. He was hooded figure. I saw him do something with his hands, and he went that way down the alleyway.
One of the other one behind him with the gun immediately goes, "Make way!" And the crowds like there's like some thin crowds that are like just traveling between areas, and they just sort of split as he just goes goo goo goo, starts running that way. And the guy takes a second and looks at you suspiciously, and then moves with his friend. What are you guys doing?
We should move towards the Adventurers Guild quickly.
Yeah.
Do not draw attention to yourself. Quickly.
That.
Okay. You guys make it into the Adventurers Guild. And the funniest part is that it begins to rain, like gently begins to rain, a little drip drop here and there. And then by the time you enter the Adventurers Guild, rain begins to start pouring. You enter the Adventurers Guild, and that's where we're going to go on a 15-minute break. We will see you guys in 15 minutes. All right. See you soon. Bye. welcome back, everybody, to Legendary Tales. I'm still waiting on food to be done in the smoker, so give me a few more minutes and we'll be right back. We're just going to hang out on this screen if they want to talk, or whatever, or if you want to mute yourselves, it doesn't really matter. I can mute the stream if you guys want, but yeah, you can talk to chat or whatever if you want to.
Yeah, we can talk to the chat.
All right, I'll be back.
Most of us are good at talking to chat.
Fair. I'm not.
Yeah.
There are 69 chat.
There are 69 chat. Nice. Very nice chat. Very nice. Ordered more nachos. You know, nachos are not a food.
What?
They're not. They're not.
Sit
No.
the fuck-
No. They're
What?
not as food. Hang on. Hear me out. Okay. Nachos are a construction. They are toppings, mostly cheese, on chip substrate. It's more like building a sign or like a gingerbread house than a food.
Have you
This
ever
is
had
my argument.
Nisbet's nachos?
Have I ever had what?
Nisbet's nachos? They're pretty good.
I don't think I have now.
Oh shit, Nisbet's nachos.
The milkshakes are not a food unless they are done correctly. Then they're a food. They're thick, like 5 C's thick. That's a milkshake. That is a food.
The GM ordered 2 things of nachos. What? Devin didn't share with me?
I saw someone make ice cream nachos on TikTok yesterday.
I'm sorry. What? Ice cream nachos?
Yeah, they basically like like a waffle cone. They put like little bits of the batter in the waffle maker and made like little waffle cone chips. And they put that all over, and then they got like 3 scoops of ice cream, and then like basically made a sundae on top of that. It's like nachos. You can like dip.
So it was an ice cream shaped like nachos, not nacho flavored ice cream or tortilla
No.
chips with ice cream on it, because that's exactly where my head
No,
went.
but if you're looking at nachos,
Yeah, no. I get it now. I get it after you explained it. I got it.
nachos,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a burrito could be a breakfast burrito or a dinner burrito. You could make a dessert burrito out of a big crepe if you rolled it like a burrito.
All right.
not
So
a crepe.
Bisbee has written a game for us. FMK for breakfast foods. Okay.
What's FMK?
So-
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So I'll start this off. Spooky, FMK for breakfast foods. Bagel, waffle, pancake. This
Mary
can only go
pancake.
hilariously. Okay.
I'll give you a hint for the F. There's only one food that has a hole in it.
Yeah, there's only one.
If that's what's stopping
Yeah.
you, you're not trying,
pretty-
okay?
Yeah, it's honestly like it's truly Mary pancake, fuck bagel, kill fucking waffles.
Kill waffle. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just worse pancakes.
I put it to you that a waffle is a 3D printed pancake. So
Sure, but they're just
Yeah.
meh. And they like capture too much butter and syrup. It's like the ratio is all
there's
wrong.
there's no such thing.
They're not fluffy.
Listen, I'm the butter sommelier of the group here. I'm here to tell you there's no such thing as too much butter. There's no such
Yeah.
thing as
Let's
too
take-
much maple syrup.
Let's
Yeah.
take waffles out of that and make
Okay.
it crepe, and it's way easier to actually make a difficult FMK.
Okay. So how about you, Bisbee? Waffle. I'm sorry, no, crepe, pancake, bagel.
I think we're gonna have to marry the bagel just because they're reliable. I mean,
You could always depend on a bagel. I'm with you on this. I'm with you on that. Yeah. You ever had a dodgy pancake monster? It happens.
Oh my god.
You ever go to like an IHOP and it's the people that are working there don't give a shit. You get a dodgy pancake. Yeah.
Oh my
and I think we're gonna have to fuck the pancake because they're a good time, but too much you don't want to stick around.
Okay. Kill crepe.
And so we
Fuck
got to kill the crepe.
pancake.
Yeah.
Marry the
I
bagel. That makes
vote
sense.
Bisbee off this island.
No. Who died and made you the king of breakfast foods? Skinny
Me.
ass motherfucker. Yeah.
I
You
would
know
like different
what's very
breakfast
interesting?
foods.
What's very interesting here is one old man in chat makes a very interesting point here. He's saying he said, "You ever get a bagel south of the Mason-Dixon line?" That is actually a very good point because there you don't want a bagel. What you want is a biscuit. You go south, you want biscuits.
Or you want the waffle, but with chicken.
That's true.
Biscuits
too.
and gravy, waffles and chicken. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, maybe we should just be doing whole meals because I think when we single out the foods, it makes it a little bit more difficult, right?
We need to complete
Nice.
our FMK. So you should FMK with Monster, and then after that, after Devin's done eating, ask him.
I'm sorry. Did you just suggest that I FMK with Monster?
With Monster or play the game?
What's the difference?
I
Monster.
want different
Monster.
breakfast
Okay.
foods.
You want different breakfast foods. Okay.
Fresh
FMK.
toast.
Breakfast sausage.
Breakfast sausage. Novalox.
Oh my god.
Bowl of cereal.
um.
The cereal is Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh
Specifically,
god,
yes.
I'm easily married.
You know what? Actually,
to
you know what?
cereal.
I will give you. I was actually going to say I'll give you an option. It's either Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Oops All Berries.
Or grape nuts.
Oh, I love grape nuts. Fuck.
I think the next one is going to have to be FMK breakfast cereal. That might be the key here.
It is Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and I marry
Okay.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Got it.
I fuck the breakfast sausage and kill the locks.
Do I get a round of this?
So
Am I-
you do. Okay. FMK breakfast foods for Devin. Let's see. Okay, FMK bacon. Okay, hang on.
Scrambled eggs.
Bacon, scrambled eggs, tomato with a little bit of cheese on top.
Kill tomato with the cheese on top.
Fair enough.
Marry the bacon and fuck the eggs.
That just sounds logistically correct, if I'm honest.
It does.
Grape nuts are like eating gravel.
Like, kind of. You know what? Honestly, I do like grape nuts, but they are very much like eating gravel.
No grape nuts for grandma.
Well, for me, if you put honey over grape nuts, it makes it really, really good.
It is the texture of granola, so anything that you could do to granola, you just do to grape nuts. It works. Yeah.
I really want some cereal now.
All right,
And
that was a good
breakfast
game.
sausage.
That was a good game. Thirst.
That's a very great shirt that you have there, Devin. I just realized the name that was on it.
Underwood?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I can't read that. It's
Yeah, I
the blue
just
on
was able
gray.
to
I just
see it.
can't see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Where'd you get the shirt? They
I
have a
don't-
store or something?
My ex-wife bought it for me.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It's pretty great. Like it.
Oh.
Should we continue to waffle around?
Bow, 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 etc.
All right, FMK, Loershik, Rip Rap, and Vidar.
Who's that for?
Who are you asking?
Devin
That's for Casimir.
And chat.
and chat.
And chat.
Old man, his shirt is a House of Cards reference.
Okay, so FMK, Loershik Technician, and Vidar. I would say kill. Oh, that's so hard. I would probably say kill Loershik, marry Technician, and fuck Vidar. Because
That's the
technician
best
technician
example.
has like long-term like amazing usefulness, and like you could make him into like a really good lover forever.
That's funny. Not in the kitchen. I think went exactly the opposite order, but the exact same thing.
Kill the lizard.
Vidar, marry Rip Rap, kill the lizard.
So we've settled pretty conclusively. Robots are better than Godzilla, I guess.
Apparently, Warden believes my reptilian nature will be better for his
Weenus.
goods.
And come on, Technician could make a penis for himself. Let's be real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or a hole. It depends. It's
if
whatever
I-
he wants at this point.
Let's see if I read the crafting guide correctly. I believe it is 6 weeks for a rare or uncommon penis,
Oh, okay.
something like that. Yes.
Or orifice. I would assume that fleshlights count as the same thing. I think I broke him.
So
It's not
anyway,
canonical. We're gonna hold you to that.
so anyway, RepRap's starting a new business. The stream did take a turn. This is what happens. He tells us to waffle. We take over. Have you ever, old man? Have you ever sat in on one of Spooky streams where like there's a little bit like he's having a snack and he's not on camera and he loses control of the chat? This is what happens in his chat. His chat just goes immediately to the gutter. Everything becomes sex puns. People basically start dating in that chat. That's basically what happens. Except for
It's like a giant orgy, a chat orgy, if you will.
A chorgy.
Except for that one guy.
Orgy.
Except for little
Okay, dog.
Fabs. Except for little Fabs.
Yeah, we always exclude fobs. Poor guy can't get any even in chat.
Nah, yeah, that's fair. That happens.
Okay.
Spooky needs to stream more often first, to be clear.
There's that too. Always derailing chat. Yes.
All right, I think I'm good to go for the most part. I will be munching down every once in a while, but chicken right off the smoker is very warm for future reference. Okay, you're in Trim Ball. You're in the Adventurers Guild. Do we have music for this? Hold on.
It's gonna be Ocean Breeze or some shit.
Summertime by Sublime. It's good adventuring music.
And the living's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Ross is on the microphone. Okay. You guys are in like you're in a tavern essentially is what it looks like it is, but it has a lot more sort of living quarters. So to the back side, it's 2 levels. Has a little balcony that goes around. Basically, a lot of the buildings in the Cragger is built similarly, where they have like a big roaring hearth right in the middle with like a big fire, and then it like opens up into a big chimney. But then around that, there's like a large second floor that has a little balcony that people can sit on and stuff. Right outside the living quarters, and that's what it looks like. There's a large. A big fat man behind the bar. He has a big red beard. Big ginger man.
When we walk in, can I kind of scan to see if there's anybody that looks like they'd be all stoked about the Hodejager after... I assume that Technician would have shared his stories with us as well, right? Or do we just talk about investing?
No, you guys actually very pointedly asked me what I had done, and I said I started a resistance and told you about everything that went on there. So yeah,
I'm gonna kind of scan the area to see if it looks like any of the adventurers are Hodejager fanboys, or if this is very much because we're further north and there were just inquisitors outside less friendly territory.
Sure, go ahead and make an insight check for me. There doesn't appear to be anyone outwardly loyal to you guys at the moment.
Do I see a bard playing some really chipper music anywhere? I walk up to the bard, I hand him 2 gold, and I ask him to play something less chipper.
Sure.
Jeez, who died in here?
apparently the fun.
Did someone put Laurishik on the freaking jukebox?
We should remind ourselves to keep him away from the bards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will ask the barkeep if anybody has come back with adventures from caves, and possibly if he knows who they are, where they went, we can find out more. And Rep is going to approach the bar and sort of try to get the barkeep's attention.
Oh, he talks to you immediately. Aye. How can I help you?
Hello. I understand there were adventurers that recently found a cave that was most humid and uncomfortably warm. I was hoping you could either tell us what cave that might have been or possibly point them out to us. We'd love to hear more about this cave.
Sure. And he points in a direction at the far end of the bar. There's a big round table with about a half dozen people in it.
I'm gonna leave
If you would like to make me a medicine check real quick.
Oh, okay. Um,
They are all. They'll have first and second degree burns on their skin, all of them.
Gotcha. Um, I'm also going to ask the barkeep. Thank you. Also, do you have any sort of very high grain alcohol for sale? Sorry, high alcohol content drink. Grain alcohol, for example.
Sure. How much you want?
A liter.
Sure.
How much?
He reaches down, pops on the thing. 6 silver.
I'm going to hand him 1 gold and say, for your time and information.
He nods at you and takes a gold piece.
And I am gonna pocket the liter of booze. I want to give it a whiff real quick. Is it basically like flammable? Right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Gonna go back over to the group and say, those adventurers over there that appear to be suffering from burns, they're the ones we should talk to.
I walk over to the adventurers.
Okay.
Hey there. I'm curious about the the cave that you guys visited.
Hello, curious about the cave we visited. My name is Don. Looks like this very large bearded man. He has a very large nose piercing. He has a septum piercing that appears to be a very large golden hoop.
Hello, Don. I'm Evo. I heard that you guys recently went to a cave, and I kind of like look at all their burns. It looks like things might have not gone well. Would
They
you mind
did
telling
not.
me what happened?
They did not. Let's just say that we entered the cave, turned out to be more lava than expected, and we got into a fight with this sort of strange elemental, saying that we were not welcome. Luckily, our resident Dragonborn, Dragonkin, I don't know what they call themselves. And he just sort of looks at him. What you didn't realize is that there's this guy. It's not a Dragonkin. It's a kobold. It's this little tiny creature that appears to be like draconic in nature, but he's extremely small. He looks very upset at Dawn.
In Draconic, I say to the kobold, "Are you doing okay? What happened down there?"
There was this big, this big set of stones that wouldn't melt in the lava, and he attacked us, and it wasn't very nice, and he kept saying we weren't welcome because we don't live there or something. I didn't really understand it, but it wasn't very good.
So have you been down there before?
No.
Do you know the name of the place that he was trying to protect?
He didn't say.
What
He said you're
What
not
was your
welcome
purpose for
here over
trying
and
to go
over
down
again.
there?
Oh, what?
what was the purpose for you to try to go down there?
We're just looking for stuff to do.
Got it. have you guys by chance seen meta question? Is our name the Hodiager public to everybody?
No. You're individually wanted as a group,
Got it.
not as an organization.
Right, but everybody has the sweet, sweet tattoos. Do people know the name or do they just know the logo?
No, they know the name.
Right, because Reinhold heard us say it. And, yeah.
I wonder if the Hodiager had attempted to go down there. Saying this is the Cobalt and Draconic still.
He sort of looks at you strangely. What did you say? Say that again.
I was just thinking that maybe they were trying to defend themselves, maybe from the perceived threat of the Hodiager.
Hodiager ain't no threat. What are you talking about? Hodiager are heroes. From what I heard, they saved the king. The king
I
of
asked
Nildum
him-
is supposed to be alive, or somebody there is supposed to be alive. I don't know.
Do I notice anyone else at the table who is understanding my Draconic?
No, nobody's even paying attention to you. They're all having their own conversations, and no one. If you want to make an insight check, you can see if anyone's trying to overhear. It doesn't appear to be that way.
That's difficult. I hand him a card. And tell him
He looks at the card.
quiet in Draconic.
He reads it and he looks up at you. And it's just a look of adoration. And he sort of.
Would you?
And you
Would
notice
you
that
guys-
he's the only one that's not burned because of his red skin. He appears to be a red dragon in nature, so he's sort of heat resistant as a baseline.
Switching back to common, I asked the group. So, did you guys mostly get burned from the lava, or was it the elemental that threw lava at you?
Elemental mostly.
Got it. If you were able to go down there, you would just be looking for work.
So, generally speaking, the kobold's still talking to you. Generally speaking, places that are guarded by huge monsters like that have tons of loot. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, or it's someone's home. Do you have a reason to think it's treasure and not a city?
No, but context.
I say, give me just a minute, and I go turn to the group. Apparently, they've been looking for stuff to do and found themselves in the cave and got burned by a giant elemental who was heaving lava at them as he was protecting wherever he was standing in front of, telling them that they did not belong there. I think that we should go check out the elemental, but I'd like to offer to bring them with us as a form of protection.
I don't think that's a good idea. Purely
Why
because
not?
we don't know whose side they're on.
I showed the kobold over there, who happens to speak Draconic, my card. And he happens to believe the Hodiager are heroes.
What about the rest of them?
That's the issue that I'm finding myself. Is that we can trust the little man, yes, but the rest of them don't. They don't have loyalty, right? So, I mean, bringing the little one with us could be a good idea for translation purposes as well as some other things. But I don't think we need to bring the rest of them. And also, it's like, if we bring them with us and they die, is that blood on our hands? You know, it's like, I'd rather not risk it, or specifically for Loeshik. You mentioned that living underground, maybe going to a place that no one knows exists and not exposing it to many people is the best thing. Because all it takes is one person to tell one person, and that one person knows 5,000 people. It takes no effort for that information to get out, and then all of a sudden the secret places are no longer secret.
That's fair.
And that's just,
Let's-
you could tell Casimir's being completely serious in like the whole like security, trying to maintain security and like things that kind of thing. He's just trying to make sure that you understand that bringing people with us is more of a liability than a benefit.
Casimir, you said you would not be opposed to the Kobold joining us?
No, because that could just kill him. Technically, he's like a monster. Technically.
I have had a thought, and Rep is going to approach the table of adventures. Hello, I understand that you went into a cave and found a very large elemental that has caused you grievous damage, and I see that you are still wounded from this experience. May I ask, were you on contract, or did you just decide that it might be a risk-reward scenario?
It was risk reward for the majority of us, actually.
I do not mean to insult you. However, it would seem that this may have been exceeding your grasp. We would like to make an attempt at the cave, and as fair compensation, to split whatever we find with you. In order to keep us honest, we would like to take your party member who seems least affected by the rigors of the cave, the Kobold gentleman.
Sure.
In exchange, you will give us all the information you have about the cave, where it is located.
Oh,
the
he knows.
dangers,
He knows all of
layouts.
it. He knows all of it. I mean, we're in recovery mode. We don't really have a lot of healing magic or access to it, so we're just sort of chilling anyway. And he didn't seem to be affected by it anyway. So, why? I don't know. If he wants to go, he can go. He's his own person. We're not really contracted in that way, or a team. We just happened to be a party where some of us are friends. He just happened to show up and prove that he wasn't a monster to us anyway. I don't know.
Are there any local
I
healers?
simply did not want to assume that he would. He would. I did not want to assume that you would be okay with a member of the party adventuring off on their own. If you had access to a local healer, would that not be a possible problem if they were also an arcane magic user with the witch hunters in town?
That's why we don't have access to it. And he looks at you, and he's trying to make an insight check for me, technician, please. He's very clearly trying to tell you that most of them have healing magic, but with witch hunters being so close, they're not even going to risk it.
I understand. It is quite the predicament, is it not? Well, thank you for your time. Kobold gentlemen, would you like to accompany us to this cave?
He looks at Loershik, and he's like, really? Really?
Yeah, we'll pay you for your time. We just you have the experience of going in the cave, and you seem to be unhurt. We would appreciate your assistance.
Sure. When do you want to go?
First thing in the morning.
Sure.
What is your name?
Um,
What is my accent? What's his name? Give name.
Give name. My name is Shirk.
It is wonderful to meet you, Shirk, and thank you for your assistance on this adventure.
You're welcome. Shirk, by the way. Shirk.
Got it.
And Casimir goes, you named it. Now it is a person. Damn it.
I looked at Casimir and say, what?
If you don't name it, it remains a monster. And it's much easier to kill it if it doesn't have an identity.
Are kobolds monsters to you?
Yes. Very much so. They
Orcs are
usually
monsters to
hang.
me.
They usually hang around large dragons, and he's red, and the red dragons are hostile to beings who are alive.
I give Casimir a hug.
Don't. He sort of like lets it happen.
You
He's
get the
not.
hate
He's not.
out of you,
He's not
Casimir.
resisting. It's not hatred. It's like tradition. It's very strange. It's very strange to see a kobold in a civilized area. Okay, I'm just surprised there's not a red dragon barreling down upon us right now. And the kobold is just looking at him like ranting and going, actually, everything he said is true. I mean, I was kicked out of my like a group of people from our dragon like father guy. That it was bad. It was just horrible.
I shake my head. See you in the morning, Shirk. And
Bye.
I walk over to the bartender.
Yeah. How can I
Is
help
there
you?
a place for lodging around here?
Of course. How many do you have?
5. Casimir. Did I count right?
Mm-hmm. Sure. 5. I have one big room with a bunch of beds in it. I have a bunch of different rooms with beds in them.
One big room with a bunch of beds. What is that? A presidential suite or a?
It's more like a barracks or bunk. Some parties like to stay together, man. I don't know.
I asked the group. Do you have a preference? Do you want individual rooms? Do you want share rooms? Big room for everyone.
It is mostly up to you and Casimir. You are the two that really sleep.
It might be nice to be able to watch over each other.
It might be nice to watch each other sleep.
We'll take the barracks like group room.
All right, that'll be 2 gold.
I give them 4. Can you just make sure no one bothers us while we're sleeping?
Sure.
Thank you.
Everyone make a perception check. Shit. Luershik and Vidar, you notice that Shirk just gets up from the table and follows you guys to the room.
You joining us for the evening, Shirk?
I can sleep under a bed. It doesn't matter. I'm little. I don't have any money, so I'm just chilling. You know, I'm trying to relax, and I'd be sleeping outside either way. So I would really appreciate it if I could come be with you guys.
Does your group have lodging for the evening?
They wouldn't let me stay with them
Why is that?
because I'm a kobold.
I don't mind kobolds so much. That's fine, Shirk. And I lean down and give him 10 gold and say, to prepay you for your adventuring with us.
He just looks at the amount of money that you gave him and looks at you in confusion. Are you guys gangsters?
Yes.
I think you know we're not gangsters.
He just looks over at Evie.
I'm just like very much taller than him and crossing my arms, looking down a little bit menacingly.
I know who you are, but I don't know. Oh.
I put my finger to my face. We can talk about this in the room.
He like takes his money. He's like,
Vidar peeks into the room because I assume that we're still kind of in the hall. I peek into the room and check the number of beds in our little barracks room. Is there more than 5, or is there
Yeah,
just 5?
there's like basically 8 beds in there. As many beds as you could fit, as many as you could fit without being really uncomfortable.
I kind of peek in, see that there's more than the 5 beds, and then pop my head back out and say, "Well, Shirk, it looks like you'll have a bed, and on the right side, you won't be the most disgusting creature in there." And I nod at Lower Shirk.
I glare back. I walk into the room, and as I'm going, I smack Vidar upside the back of his metal head.
It hurts you more than it hurts him.
It doesn't feel great, but you do it. All right. So I assume you guys rest for the evening.
Yeah.
Real quick, Rep would just kind of like to take Casimir aside. Casimir, I understand there is a tradition with kobolds, and that many people fear them because of the company they keep, because of their mannerisms, because of the trades they choose and their pack tactics. But I want to point out that this is all centered in fear and intolerance. And intolerance is why we fight. Let us break the tradition.
And Casimir, you can see that his eyes open. You know, like he sort of has a realization that it's sort of like the realization, are we the baddies? You know? He looks at it and he goes, I realize I'm wrong. I appreciate that.
In the event... Continue, Casimir.
I was rooted in the wrong mindset for this specific interaction. And yes, I will think about things before I start to... Yes, I have to change my thought process. Thank you.
And in the event that I am incorrect to trust him, and he does betray us, he is quite small. You can drown him in a bucket.
Oh, that would be so pleasurable.
Okay. Excellent.
Once we get in the room for the night and the door closes, I drop my disguise.
Okay. And literally, the kobold looks at you and his eyes widen really big. He's like, you're much smaller than I expected you to be.
I walk up to him, towering over him at 6 whatever, and say, I don't think you have room to talk.
I do. I'm little.
I chuckle. Pick a bed, Shirk. You get first choice.
I want to be the one closest to you.
Okay. I go and I pick a bed near the middle of the room, or in the middle of a set of beds, so you can choose a side.
And he basically chooses one right next to it, adjacent to your bed.
He goes slightly under the bed, pushes it a little bit closer to you. You just see the bed, like you crawl into your own bed and just see the bed next to you moving towards you, and then freaking Shrek jumping up into it.
You guys are so mean to Shirk.
So why was there clanging swords? What is this? What's happening right now?
We're in the inn. There's a small puppet theater that's happening that's just run by a deaf bard there. It's just inside a box, and he's just got like a little battle going on.
I imagine if we're in the Adventurers Guild, there's some assholes downstairs just swinging their swords around.
Oh, I was right. He is green and blue. That was close. It's like green and white.
Green and white normally, yeah.
Green and white. Okay.
It's literally like his token on the board.
Oh yeah. that thing. Oops.
So you guys successfully rest for the evening, uneventfully. You wake up the next morning. And Loershik, the second that you opened your eyes, All you see when you open your eyes is the top, like the very top of his head. He's like right here on your bed. He's just staring at you.
Good morning, Shirk.
Good morning, Lorisik. How did you sleep?
God.
I slept great. Please make sure you call me Evo as we're going on our adventure today.
True. Evo.
I sit up in the bed and reactivate my disguise. Shall we get going, team?
You guys gonna get going?
I'm waiting for Shirk to do more.
No, he's
Stuff with
obsessed
Lorisik.
with Lorisik. He's obsessed.
I can't wait for more of this little brother interaction, though. This is good stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to activate my disguise and get ready to set off,
Okay.
carrying Defender as a shield for Aegis. No. Phalanx. That's it.
Vidar was kind of sentry moding half in front of the door, like leaning up against it. So that way, if anybody came in, it would clearly push him over. But had my disguise down the entire night, and so put the disguise back up and move out of the door.
Oh, and by the
How
way,
tall is Shirk?
he's like 3 feet tall. He's little.
Can he ride on my shoulder?
Yeah.
Shirk, would you like to ride on my shoulder? It might be a little bit faster since we all move pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
All right.
So- and he
while
sort-
I'm sitting on the bed, I pat my shoulder.
Oh, by the way, EV technician Vidar, you saw that he doesn't need to sleep for very long because he's little, and he sat there for like 2.5 hours just watching Lorisik. Like, but the thing is, he didn't. It wasn't creepy. It was very much a like endearing thing that he's like, I have someone to look up to finally that actually thinks I'm cool.
You know, everyone needs someone. Can't always pick them.
Fair. You guys start making your way out. And he eventually turns and he says, we need to follow the mountain all the way around, and then there's a small I'll point it out when you see it. So we go around the lake and we go north.
I assume we head in that direction uneventfully. The witch hunters are nowhere to be seen.
They are. When you come outside, you can see the remnants of their like magical detection circle that they had, but they are nowhere to be found. They have moved on.
I think NB2K wants to die.
That was a Shirk comment, not a spooky comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lower Shirk. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Then let us proceed to the lake.
And you guys make your way to the lake. It's actually quite nice. It's a little bit cold. It's not too cold though. And you get a little bit past the lake, and you see that there's like a big clearing of trees, and outside of there's like a small cave. When I say a small cave, it's like probably 10 feet wide total. It's like a big circle. And there's a small little puff of smoke every once in a while coming from the entrance. What are you doing?
On the walk, I grabbed like a biggish rock and a branch and just like tied them together, and I'm just gonna drop it in front of little Lorisik. Here, buddy.
Yeah, and he like picks it up and he's like, yeah. Just like looking around.
Sure. Do you have a proper weapon?
No.
Now he does. He's got a little maul.
I'm gonna take the one small javelin that I had because I had those extra bones. I'm gonna take the one small one. I'm gonna hand it to Shirk and look over to Calm and ask, "You okay with this?"
Yeah, you got your little boyfriend right there. It's cute. He's adorable.
I glare at Callum. And I look to Shirk and say, "Shirk, we crafted these weapons from our first adventure. This one seems to fit you well. Just point at what you want to die in and poke."
Sounds good. He's like now he's like looking around like he's a boss. Just his eyes are like he's all squinty, like looking around, trying to find sus people to stab. And you guys make it to the cave. It smells a little bit like sulfur, just slightly. And it gets a little bit warm.
Vidar's going to ask Loershik if all of the stories about wounded adventurers burning up is about what he was expecting, or if this is going to be something new.
Are you asking if I think that we're all going to face a fiery death?
Well, you were very vague about the specifics of the caves we were looking for. I didn't know if fiery elementals is expected as a guardian, or if we are going to have to fight through.
Based on what I know, I feel as though the elemental is present because he's trying to protect the people inside. And as long as we don't do anything to provoke him, we might be able to get through just fine.
How about the people inside? Is it going to be War Master Haka or other people that we might need to worry about?
I would hope you won't have to worry about anybody. Just don't cause trouble. Don't go pickpocketing if we get in there.
You make your way into the cave, and as you go farther and farther down, you eventually come to this very large pool of lava that's flowing out of the wall, and out of it rises this huge obsidian golem, and it sort of moves into your way. It looks down, and it goes Vidar to Evie to Technician to Loershik to Shirk. And it goes back to Loershik. Cocks its head for a second. Does it have guests?
Yes.
Then it is welcome. And this is all in like very slow Draconic.
I say thank you back in Draconic.
It sort of bows slowly and sinks back into the pool of lava.
Does the lava retreat back into the wall? Or
Nope.
does it stop flowing? And
Nope.
What did it say?
It just said that we're good to go by. We just need to find a way to get across the lava without getting hurt.
We can probably go around.
As it lowers itself into the lava, a great hole appears in the wall because two boulders basically rolled themselves out of the way. Just on the other side of the lava, but there's like a little like walkway that you can go around.
Or we could try the wall sphincter.
Wall sphincter it is. We'll start walking that direction. Do Warforged feel heat?
Yes, we also sometimes have trouble hearing. There we
Who's
go.
having a moment with their god right now?
Yes, Warforged can feel heat.
Warforged are equipped with many sensors to detect most, and then air quotes, humanoid feelings.
My head just lowers and my shoulders slump. I say thank you, Vidar. Evie, are you going to be okay with some warmth and humidity?
I'm like sweating a little bit, and Kindle's on my head, just kind of like thriving, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I think I'll be okay. I I can't. Yeah, I'm okay.
I start walking through the cave, leading to wherever it goes.
You walk, you keep going through the cave, and it takes a really long time, and it keeps getting a little bit warmer and warmer and warmer. Not unbearably so, but it does get to like 85 degrees Fahrenheit. And it sort of sits there.
Celsius.
Celsius, yeah, everyone's dying. And I can't... Did I physically write down all the town names for that? I thought I put them in my spreadsheets, but I did not.
I never received any.
Might have to find my notebook. But eventually you walk for like an hour, and Shirk is just like, what is happening right now for most of it. And eventually you come upon, in a very large and open cave, a sort of village made of...
And to be clear, Shirk understood the conversation between me and the golem.
Yes, he did. He said nothing. Oh, there's my notebook. I found it. I found my notebook. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, you come on a small village. You come upon a small village. What are you doing?
Do I recognize the village?
It is not yours.
But I am familiar with it.
Yes.
Well, we should probably try to find the mayor of this village. I say mayor unconvincingly to the group.
What would that
Is this
mayor's
Aladdin
actual
music?
title be? What would that mayor's actual title be?
Titles work differently down here. I'm uncertain for this village.
It is different.
I understand.
Is different from village to village.
I explain in common that my name is Loershik, but my real name in common would be Pain, and my title is the Venerable. So
Pain, the Venerable.
names work differently down here too.
I see.
Is Monster hitting a bong? I just keep hearing this like bubbling sound.
What? Why?
It's just her laptop melting. It's fine.
It actually is melting.
I apparently have lost all my notes.
Uh-oh.
There's one more place it could be. I'll be back in a second.
I cast Detect Notes. No? Okay. So, normally it would be RepRap's place to mentor a young adventurer, but he seems to be interested in being mentored by somebody else. Nudge, nudge.
I look down to Shirk and ask him if he's doing okay. Yes, I'm doing great. Thanks, Lord Shirk. I love you.
What if Shirk turns out to be a murder hobo and you never advised him to not? What kind of
Sure.
mentor are you?
You must remember that you only kill if it's to help somebody else. Do you understand, Shirk? Yes.
What happened?
I'll never kill unless it is to help somebody else.
Luerchik is mentoring a young adventurer, Shirk.
Oh yeah. In what?
Oh, I was just teaching Shirk to not kill people unless it was to help somebody else, which is very vague and terrible advice.
True.
Only do evil if it benefits you in some way.
And I expect Technician to interject and correct me.
That may be too vague. More specifically, you see how we passed by the elemental without violence. Diplomacy can usually be key to some interactions. Also, you specifically may want to avoid buckets.
Sure.
What?
He is quite small.
Um,
Buckets could pose a
Technician
hazard.
to drown him in a bucket.
No, I propose this as an alternate plan in the event he is a betrayer.
So if
Nothing
he avoids
personal,
buckets,
Shirk.
he's basically immortal.
as you guys reach, there is a sort of like strange. It's a wall. So the city itself, when you're looking down on it, the buildings appear to be in the Eastern style, sort of Japanese style. Really, really beautifully crafted, high level of craftsmanship, sort of pagoda style buildings. And a lot of them have like obsidian tiles on top, and a lot of them are very dirt stained from stuff falling from the ceiling and cracked and all sorts of stuff. But the city itself, or the village itself, is very well built and very compact, as well as three-dimensional. There's a lot of like bridges that go from like one side of a chasm to another. Some of them are built into the wall, that kind of thing. But there's also lots of like plant life that doesn't, it's not green, it's usually red. And you can see a handful of like similar looking lizard folk to Loershik running around. I need everyone to make a perception check for me, please.
What did I perceive?
Everything.
You know, it makes me kind of happy that I outrolled somebody that did a nat 20 plus 7.
I know, right?
Shut up! But we established that rolling a nat 20 is better than whatever you did anyway.
As you're looking around and like trying to as you're looking around and trying to figure out what exactly you're looking at, Evie, you do notice that there is there's a sort of gate on a bunch of areas, and some of them are just closed off, some of them are open. Some of them have like the very large snake man guards, where they're part snake, but they also have 4 arms. So they're not as big as Haka, but they appear to be the same species.
Okay, well, I'll just point that out to everyone. Is it maybe because dark vision I would have seen them? I feel like it's just weird that I would have seen it and they wouldn't, so I'm assuming they're a little bit further in. So yeah, I'll just tell everyone what I see down the cave.
I'm
Down
gonna
the
ask.
entryway.
I'm gonna ask Loershik if village to village lizard folk look different, because they don't look anything like him. But if they look similar to Haka, would this mean that Haka is from this region, or is this just coincidence?
It's possible.
You lost your audio. Yeah.
Yep, the stupid cable's bad. Some of the lizard men do look similar to Loershik, but they have different like features and fins and sort of like protrusions. But the guards all seem to be similar race to Haka, just different scale colorings and things.
Do the guards seem out of place to me?
Yes and no. These ones specifically, yes, because they're scaling. The scale color that you're used to is like your green and white or black and yellow. Like they usually have like a yellow underbelly, but they have like a specific color on top relative to their clan. And you're used to the black scales on the outside being most of the things, for everybody. These ones have bright, like ruby colored scales on on the top. So you've never seen this clan of these specific Nehebka is the name of the race, by the way. Nehebkha.
Does Evie point out the guards to the group?
Yeah, I said I did.
Sorry, I missed that. I walk up to the guards and gesture for the rest of the team to like keep a few paces back.
Okay. So you lead the party down to the entrance, and the one solo guard that's there, this dude is big. He's really big. He's like if he's coiled up in like a circular manner, and he's just sort of sitting on top of himself, and he appears to have like a large breastplate on, and he actually has 2 great axes. And he looks at you, and he says he looks at you, and he's like swaying gently back and forth, and he starts speaking to you in Draconic. He says, "What clan do you belong in? Or what clan do they belong in?"
They're guests of mine.
"Yes, but him, is what clan?"
Me, specifically?
Him. Traditionally, the Neheb-Ka cannot speak in first person or speak directly to. They cannot use the word you, me, you or me. Basically, they cannot. Their brains cannot process those as pronouns. So they refer to everything in third person, whether it's him, they, it. It doesn't matter. They just cannot talk in the first person or in the second person.
Got it. I just sent you a message. Are those what you were looking for before?
Yes.
Sorry.
That list.
I had them.
You had. I think
They're at the bottom of my notes.
of course they were.
Those are the only ones I have.
Yeah, because I think you are at the bottom one. You would recognize that the color of scaling and things like that, and the clan colors, are from the bottom one.
I tell him Dahakon.
His eyes sort of widen. "Then they are welcome within the halls of Ajakis. Ajikis."
Thank you. Do you know if Haka is around?
Haka does not reside in this village. He resides.
Have you seen him recently?
This one has seen him pass through many moons ago. He does not know of the destination, but the War Master was talking about his return within a few moons of his passing through of this village.
You wouldn't by chance have a map or anywhere around here have a map that I could acquire for my friends who are unfamiliar in case we get separated. I don't want them to get lost.
This one does not, but they may procure a map in one of the consulate buildings. And
appreciate that, thank
there's a
you.
load of like cast members who are called consuls, and they are sort of ambassadors between clans, and they're the ones that deal with cartography and trading and logistics and things like that. So you'd have to go to the consulate building to talk to the consuls to understand and get more information on how everything works.
Got it. I ask him, is there a reason for the heightened security as of late? It's been a while since I've been down here.
There has been an uprising of consistent underground creatures coming from beneath even us. So
That's
they have released the Nehebka from the spawning pools to ensure security for the nation.
Are all the villages being protected?
They have all been assigned between 20 and 50 of us.
Stay safe, friend.
As well for them.
I gesture to the team to come forward.
Okay.
And we do
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Assume we're going in to the city then.
There's secret chats happening. Is what's happening. Just give them a minute.
Yeah, I was just getting spammed by some cryptocurrency gambling website. Sorry, it was kind of distracting. I look to the group and say, "We're in." I don't know how to. How do I say this in common?
Educus. Oh, it'd be wild. Is the
We're
translation.
in the Wild Village. It's pronounced Educus in
Bless you.
Draconic. I just I glare at technician. We're going to go to the consulate and we're going to get maps. That way we know how to navigate all the villages. And in the event that we get split up, you guys don't get lost down here. Sound good? Is there anything
That is a
else
good
you guys
plan.
need while we're down here?
Well, that sounds like a good idea. Is there a reason we might get split up down here?
Well, you never know. Evie goes and gets lost in turf war sometimes, and you never know if I might just get lost down here. So I don't want you guys to lose your. And don't mind the four-armed lizard men. They're just protecting the villages.
Insight check on the were chick. It sounds like maybe he's planning on something happening to him, or thinks something might happen to him.
Also, jerkwad check on Lore Chick. I didn't get lost in Turf War. I have friends in Turf War.
22.
What do I roll against that?
Are you lying? Are you trying to withhold information? Are you like message me?
Yeah.
Message me what you're doing. And then I will tell you what to roll.
Lomershik rolls a 20 in lying. Nope, he's telling the truth.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
The problem, okay, so the problem that I'm seeing is that it's not that you're lying, it's just that you can tell that he's not directly lying to you, he's just withholding information. He's just not.
I got you. Loerchik, you appear to be withholding information. Now, because we have been traveling together for some time, You have proven yourself to be a valuable ally. I will choose to trust you, but if you are very concerned about your own safety or ours, now would be the time to say something.
That's fair. I'll explain along the way.
Okay.
And we start. I assume I can make out the console. It's probably fairly easy to identify.
Absolutely. It's a very long and wide building, so it takes up a huge amount of space, but it has like this beautiful garden right behind. And what we're going to do as we get to the consulate is we're going to end this episode of Soulforged, and we're going to save the rest of this interaction for next week. Because I have a lot of work to do. That's the reason for it. I don't have the rest of this prepped.
The spoiler alert on the jerkwad roll, I rolled a nat 30, so he was being a jerkwad. Anyway, carry on, Devin, my bad.
You're fine. That's great. So yeah, we should be playing normally next on Tuesday, right? We should be on for Tuesday this coming week.
Yeah, I think so. Anybody got something they know of?
Okay.
No? Okay, we're on.
All right, and I should be streaming more Dota in the coming weeks because I enjoy doing that. I enjoy doing it a lot. So, yeah, I will let you guys know. I might be streaming Dota after this. I might take like an hour break and then figure out stuff and then play again. I want to see if Purge will play with me. So yeah, it was a great adventure, and we will see you next week. Join the Discord. Subscribe to YouTube. If you want to support me on Patreon, I appreciate it. Everyone have a great week, and we'll see you in a couple days. Bye.